Okay, I just have to say that I recorded an entire episode only to look back on it afterwards and realize that I had a piece of popcorn right on my tooth. I'm re-recording this thing. I can't post that. No, it was too much. It's too much for me. Sorry, guys. So as the summer is kind of coming to a close and I'm starting to, be getting into like, okay, I have 1 month left, summer is ending, things like that. I decided, you know what? I really want to really feel like I have enough time to just live in the rest of the summer, right? Like, I don't feel like I've had the chance to actually experience summer. Like, it hasn't felt like, oh, the cat left me. What? Girl, come on. I haven't felt like I have the chance to actually just be sometimes. I feel like I need to get my life back on track because I can't just be like, okay, hey, it's summer, so I'm not going to do anything, right? Like, I have the podcast, I have work, I have stuff I need to do. I need to clean the apartment. I have things that I need to do. But I want that, be able to be like, oh, hey, I'm relaxing. You know, when you were in grade school and you just felt like there was no care in the world. Everything was good. You didn't have anything to do when you were in the summer. And it was just like, life was so good. You didn't have anything that you had to think about. You didn't have anything you had to worry about. I want that. I really want that. So I want to get my life back on track because lately I've been feeling like, especially after the surgery and everything, I've been feeling like I just haven't been doing anything. So in the last week, I have been, actually the last few weeks, I was paying attention to the fact that I felt like I was just not getting stuff done. I was kind of just sitting around, not doing anything all day. And I was like, you know what? This doesn't feel great either because I want to be getting some stuff done, but then I also want to be able to relax too, right? But I don't just want to be sitting around like a couch potato because even though that feels good some days, it doesn't always feel great. So then I decided, okay, so we're going to focus on something else instead, right? So instead, I'm going to, I want to be getting stuff done. I was having a really hard time getting the motivation to do podcast stuff. I was having a really hard time getting the motivation to go to work, things like that. And I was like, you know what? I need to give myself a routine. My answer to this problem is actually something that I talked about in another episode, and I'll link it above if I remember. Hopefully I remember. But I did an episode before talking about scheduling your time, scheduling your free time especially, and it has been the one thing that has helped me so much, my mental health and my time management. And I was really doing it during the school year when I had things to be doing, but then I realized, wait, why can't I be doing it right now too? Who says that I can't be doing stuff, getting stuff done, having a routine in the summer? We always think of the summer as oh, you don't have a routine or anything, but who says I can't, right? So what I've done is the same routine that I had before. Basically, 8 to 5 is get stuff done. Get whatever I have to do done. That is productive time. That's also if I have meetings or if I have things going on with people, I include that in there because obviously I don't have as much work to be doing as I do during the school year when I have I'm in classes full time. So I will schedule things where I have to be out and about, grocery shopping. If I'm going to do something with friends, I schedule that into that productivity time, I guess. And then after 5 to 6 is usually the time that I spend making food or, eating whatever I prepped for the week. And then after 6 p.m., it's at this point, I've been testing it out the last week and I've been really enjoying it. It's, after 6 p.m., that's my me time. I get to do whatever in the world I want to do. And I've been really enjoying that. Being able to have a set routine like this it's just made me feel a lot better because on one hand, I don't want to be sitting around doing nothing all day, even though that's what summer feels like you should do. But I have done that and I end up feeling just really gross and just not productive and just I just don't feel good about myself. But on the other hand, I am really good at getting caught up into the hustle culture and feeling like I constantly need to be doing something. And I don't want that either. I don't want to feel like I constantly need to be doing something. I don't want it to be 8 p.m. when I should be going to bed and I'm feeling like I need to be editing an episode at that time. And that's how it has been the majority of the summer, is because I have had stuff to do. So I get caught up in this hustle culture. So for me, I really, really need to schedule my free time, because if I don't, I get caught up in it. I get really sucked into it, and I don't actually get that time to take care of myself until I end up getting burnt out. And then I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And I sit around on the couch for a few days, not doing anything at all, and end up feeling really bad about myself. So this is my way that I balance them, because by having a set time, I know when I'm working on stuff, I'm like, hey, I don't want to be working on this right now, but I know that at the end of the day, I get to do whatever I want. Like, I always have that clarity. And I always know that I won't be working on something all day, because no matter what, after 6 p.m., I'm done. If I have been truly working on something all day long up until 6 p.m., I'm going to need to take a break either way. At that point, my brain is not working anymore. So I know by scheduling that, okay, I just like somehow by putting a name to it and by scheduling it, it makes me prioritize that time better. And it also makes me like recognize it better too, if that makes sense. Like after 6 p.m., I have found that I am not just doing random things without paying attention to it as much, because I value that time more, because I've put a name to it. And by putting a name to it and valuing it more, I'm being a little bit more cautious about what is it that I actually want to do, you know? Like I might be like, oh, I don't know what I want to do, and then I just end up scrolling on my phone for like a few hours. But instead, by putting a name to it, usually throughout the day, I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like I usually already have an idea of what I want to do when it comes to 5 or 6 p.m. And I don't know, somehow just scheduling that has really changed it for me, because I felt like I all of a sudden am getting motivation to do things again that I didn't have the motivation for. Like, oh, if I want to get stuff done, like I get my creative juices sometimes at nighttime, but I don't let myself do any of that at night. And so then the next morning I'm like, oh, I had all these great ideas, I'm going to do it, right? Or during the day, like I'm like, okay, well, I can maybe take a few breaks. Of course, you can take breaks during the day, or maybe I had something going on with friends or something, like all that, but I'm not going to sit around just hanging out doing nothing all day, because I know that during this time of day, it's my productive time. If I truly have absolutely nothing I need to do, okay, then I can sit around and do nothing all day. But let's be honest, that doesn't happen, unfortunately. There's always something I can be doing. Cleaning the apartment, editing an episode, recording ahead of time, or, editing photos from my photo shoots that I've been doing, working ahead on stuff. Like there's always something that I feel like I can be doing, even if it's just as simple as like, I need to go out and get groceries, or I'm going to pay some bills that I've been ignoring, or things like that. And so there's usually something that I feel like I need to do. And sometimes, some days, it's really not that much. Some days it takes me an hour to get my stuff done, and then I'm like, great, now what? And that's okay, because I'm like, well, I did everything I need to in the day. But just knowing that like when you, and this is not necessarily a good thing, but in my mind, knowing at the end of the day, like you do not need to deserve to have free time. You do not need to deserve to be able to relax, right? So don't take that as what I'm saying here. But at the end of the day, if I have done everything that I needed to do, or if I have been productive all day, somehow that relaxing time just feels a million times better, because I know that I worked all day long and I've been looking forward to it all day long. Like it feels like, yeah, I really deserve this. Like I worked up towards this, right? And of course, that is not what I'm saying. You deserve to relax whenever you need it, right? But by being able to be like, oh, I've been like excited for my me time all day, and I've been, working all day, and just like to be able to look back on the day and be like, yeah, I'm really proud of the things I got done today. I got a bunch of stuff done. I don't feel like I'm hanging on by a thread because I was being productive today, is really helpful. But then vice versa, I do get caught into like the I need to be productive all the time type of mindset, and then I get really burnt out. So being able to just at the end of the day go to bed with a peaceful mind, like you don't want to go to bed right after doing a bunch of stuff. That is why I stop my routine at around 6 or earlier, because that gives me a few hours to just not think. It gives me a few hours to just relax, to do whatever I want. And I sleep so much better, and it's so much better for your brain. And then just like all of these different things, like your brain is not meant to be in that hustle culture, but your brain is also meant to be stimulated. Like you're not meant to, it's not all or nothing. It's not, oh, I'm just going to relax all day, which is not wrong, right? But you don't want to be just doing nothing all day, every day. Like you need to be exercising your brain, exercising your body, but also at the same time, you don't want to be doing it too much to the point where you get burnt out. Like, if you exercise too much, you're going to end up like you can hurt yourself. And the same thing happens for your brain. If you work too hard, you can hurt yourself. You can get burnt out. And so this routine, I guess, I don't know. It's just that what I've been working on lately and what has really worked well for me in the last year, but especially in this summer, somehow it didn't occur to me for a while that, oh, hey, I can have a routine in the summer too. And once I implemented this, I just have felt a million times better, because if I truly have nothing else to do, then I get up and I go to a coffee shop or something like that and sit and read my book or watch my show there, because getting out of the apartment feels like, okay, I'm still doing stuff. I'm still being productive. Like I spend that time getting out. I spend that time doing stuff, and I spend the night doing whatever else feels comfortable. So that's what I've been kind of focusing on lately. That's how I have really been getting my life back on track lately, because I've been contemplating this for the last at least 3 to 4 weeks, trying to figure out like, what am I missing? Like, why do I just feel like I am not on track? Why does it feel like life is not on track? Why does it feel like I'm just like hanging on by a thread? And once I started doing this and paying attention to it, all of a sudden I started to feel better. So I'm not saying, oh, it's going to be perfect, it's going to make everything better, but at least it's what worked for me, or at least what has helped for me. And I guess I wanted to share it. So I will be back next time.